Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged now. But yeah, I started Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged 4 years ago now. About 4 years ago, because and everybody asks what inspired you to create Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, and there was really no huge inspiration. It was pure, unadulterated boredom. I had nothing better to do, and I wanted to be part of a fandom. And a friend of mine says, "So you wanted to become part of a fandom, but you ended up becoming the fandom." I don't know if that's true, but I mean, it's always really cool just to come to these conventions and see all of you guys dressed up and wanting to see the videos and everything. It's all really cool. But do you guys want to do a Q&A for half an hour, and then we'll move on to showing what?
Let's just keep it Yu-Gi-Oh! Based, though.
Huh?
Oh, keep the questions Yu-Gi-Oh! centric.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z questions can be answered to GBZ.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Team 4-Star and Dragon Ball Z. Well, you can ask Team 4-Star questions, but Dragon Ball Z specific questions would probably be best. Do we have?
There will be an hour break after this panel's over, and then the Team 4-Star panel will be at what time? 2. It'll be at 2. In the same room.
So should we set up a microphone or something so people can ask questions, or do we have another mic at all, or shall I just?
You guys have 3 mics, so that we have 1. Yeah, that would be second.
What do you think, Chris? You gonna go out?
Are you sure, Crow? Okay, Crows. Reaches for Crows!
So if you have questions, just raise your hand and Crows will come to you, or just line up with the microphone stuff.
Yeah,
I'm being lazy today.
lining up is your best bet.
Hi, Kamina.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going. You?
I'm alright. Do I recognize you?
I was Ace Ventura yesterday.
I thought so.
I was Ace Ventura yesterday.
Also, when coming to lineup, please go around the back as there is somebody filming for the Anime Evolution.
Okay, so your question?
Two questions, but first of all, I want to congratulate you personally for getting to this point in your series without using one Mummies Alive.
You might need to talk a little closer to the mic. These things are hard to pick up.
Sorry. Two things, but first of all, I want to congratulate you personally, Prebo, for making it at this point in your series without using one Mummies Alive joke or reference.
I think that's because that show doesn't air like anywhere outside of here.
Somebody send the link.
I am now going to specifically make a Mummies Alive reference. I will.
It's good to know I gave something back, but anyway. Second of all, again, to Little Prebo, was there ever a point where you felt like just chucking it all away, not thinking twice about it or anything like that?
Yeah. There's been a few times, and it's strange to just say that and be so nonchalant about it. But at the end of the day, it is just a hobby. You know, I mean, it is the kind of thing I could stop doing right now and move on. I don't want to, but I could do it, and it wouldn't, you know, necessarily change my life great deal. I've made.
I don't mean to give you anything like that.
I can honestly say doing this, I've made some of the best friends I've ever had in my life, and you know, but at the same time, I know that, you know, that doesn't mean that I owe that all to the series. You know, I owe that to, you know, the great people that I talk to, and just, you know, just being myself. It's not because, you know, a comedy series on the internet. So while, you know, I do intend to finish Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and get to the very end of Yu-Gi-Oh! And do the whole thing. There has been a couple of times, specifically in the middle of season 2, where I was just like, do I really need to? I mean, after episode 1, did I really need to say anything else to summarize Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, that pretty much says it all. But I enjoy doing it, and season 5 will be different enough that I think I won't feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. That season 5 is basically the Lord of the Rings, but with trading cards involved. And RPGs. Okay. You guys feel free to chip in with anything if you want.
Anyway, second question, this is for everybody.
Okay.
For Team 4-Star, which member of Team 4-Star do you really think is most likely to be a prison bitch?
That's a weird one. Okay, that goes into a couple of accounts. Which one of us is most likely to go to prison, and then which one of us is most likely to be the bitch in prison?
sorry for the language.
Only one of us is wearing a wig right now.
That is true. That is true.
I look pretty in this.
But I don't know. I think you're backed into a corner. Taka might stab somebody. What? Hey! If you're faced with prison, would you? No, this is a weird question. I just realized that question.
The answer is crows. Next question.
Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your stay.
To all of you guys, please keep all questions PG because this is a family con. Thank you.
Okay, first thing, I would like to convey my scorn for not yet making a Mummy's Live joke. But mainly, you have essentially birthed this genre. What do you think of the other Abridged series that have cropped up? Do you, amateur and slightly less amateur, like, do you appreciate the imitation? Do you find it flattery, or are you plotting revenge in your underground fortress?
Well, at the end of the day, what I'm doing is imitation, you know, so I'd be the biggest hypocrite in the world if I said that I hated every single other Abridged series out there because they're imitating me. So I guess I'm a giant hypocrite, right? No. But no, I'm really, you know, it's cool that there's so many people who have started. I mean, Lanny once said that I didn't really create anything, I just sort of gave it a name, and I tend to agree with that. I didn't so much create anything specific myself, I just sort of, I put it into a category, and then people just sort of built off of that. I mean, Team 4-Star, I've always said, is sort of the evolution of what I've done. I don't consider them to be just like the same thing. I don't consider any Abridged series to be exactly like mine. And it's cool, you know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's really true. You know, I mean, that's why people love to cosplay, right? So, it's
Anyway, I just wanted to know if that was a reference to Perfect Hair Forever or something.
No, they totally ripped me off.
It's just because I figured as much, but I wasn't sure because I don't watch crap. Perfect Hair.
Did that show air here? Perfect Hair Forever?
I think it did for a while, but yeah.
I don't think it had in the UK, so how did I see it? Was that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were references to Perfect Hair Forever, and I loved that show when it came out. I know a lot of people don't. You, for example. I really like surreal, off-the-wall humor. Like, for example, I write Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged specifically for other people, but when I write the Naruto parody, which you may have noticed is a bit more off-kilter and self-indulgent, that's to make me laugh. That's to make a few other people laugh as well. But Perfect Hair Forever is, you can see loads of references laid around the place. They made Yu-Gi-Oh! References on Perfect Hair Forever, so it's kind of like a full circle thing. Cool. Is it Utena or is it, what's her name?
I was just wondering what you are going to do when you get to me.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Siegfried! I will make Siegfried a Utena. That's what I will do.
I think you should make him call Kaiman Egyptian.
I don't think quite that far ahead, but I'm sure I'll think of something, and I can keep that in mind. Does anybody have a voice for that?
Don't open the floodgates for that, man.
German?
I consider the German and it's a pretty good, so you know, my best. That's good.
I don't know what I'll do when I get that. That'll probably be like 10 years down the line. Will he still be alive then? Who knows? We'll see.
Gunkashi. Okay, I had two questions, but since the line is long.
an old like wife and husband been arguing when they're like when marriage is possessed with the color and stuff. But I don't write thick about it. I don't browse the front out about it. I think it's funny. I think it's a funny idea. You know. Yeah. Half the audience is impressed. The other half is going to walk out. Did the rules just get screwed?
Yes, but that's beside the point, at least for now. First, I just want to thank you, Little Kumu, for all the inspiration you brought to us cosplayers. I know it's not something to be proud of, but still. But I'm really here to ask.
I'm pretty proud of it.
I'm really here to make a request for crows.
Oh.
Less than half an hour ago, you made a proclamation that we lost the game. Well, as you know, I am not above screwing the rules, even if it means not using at all costs, even if it means resorting to other card games. So I want to read you this magic card called Platinum Angel. It is artifact feature angel. Magic the Gathering card. Have you heard of the game? That game. Anyway, just let me read the rule sets.
You've heard of it?
Yes,
I know what Platinum Angel does. Yes, it is.
Alright, Platinum Angel, rule 6. It has flying. The matter is, you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game.
But Crows Law is all about magic because we played Yu-Gi-Oh! In Comic Con 2008. It's the only time I've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! In my life. It was actually the official demo of the new 5Ds rules because they just released the premiere of the 5Ds done. And Crows was my opponent, and we were being taught how to play it by the actual guys in the head of marketing for Upper Deck, who at the time had the game. And Crows defeated me by a landslide. I didn't take a single hit point off him. And the reason he won was because he played Magic the Gathering so much, and he was using those rules basically. Using that experience, and I defer to the greater man.
So anyway, final request. Crows, I'd like you to say, right here, I, Seto Kaiba, have not lost the game.
You, Seto Kaiba, have not lost the game until I destroy that Platinum Angel.
Proud of all the inspiration I've done for cosplayers specifically because I saw Ben Kaiba walking around. There you go. I don't know if that's because of me, but I'm proud of that.